Well, I'll come back on what is a glorious sunny day. If everything goes to plan, we're going to be starting out the planting out. And first of all, I'm going to be looking at the peas. I'd like to say a big thank you for the people who commented on the last video regarding the little issue we had with the onions. I think they are actually picking up, but so we're going to be planting them out. Might be in this video actually, but I have done a close the stable door as the horse is bolted. I've put a little gate on there and I'll just take you down and show you. I've built that mesh door, and all I've done, I've just put some cup hooks at the top. I don't know if you can see that, and they just rest gently into the runners of the door track, so the door easily lifts off and it supports itself purely by gravity. So that's the door there, plenty of airflow, jobs are good. We haven't had no real rain to shout about, and this cow manure held onto the moisture nicely, but I think I'll still water them in once I've planted them. I'm just going to do one row at a time, and then I can get them fairly close. The soil's nice and friable. I'll just go and give the peas a good watering. Really is a glorious day today, scorching hot. But according to the weather forecast, we've got a bit of rain coming in this afternoon, but not sure how much it is. Hopefully we could do with this overnight and then have it like this during the day. It's the best of both worlds for us gardeners. Not sure if it'll show up on the video because of the angle, but I have planted the peas well in the border of the boundary of the bed, and also quite a bit far away from there. And I've done that deliberately because with the wind in the right direction, I might be replacing the edging of the beds as I have done for the last 3 years. But that's the plan. If I do get time, I'll be putting the slabs along here and it won't disturb the stuff that's in there. Right, let's get the frame up. Once the plants get a little bit bigger, probably a week or so, I'll put a bit of string along and pull them in towards the frame, and then they'll cling on. At the moment I might just put a net over because the sparrows do like to take the tips out of the plants, so keep your eye on them as well. Well, that'll keep them happy for the time being. I will actually put the proper net across once I've got the other frames up. First of all, I need to get some more peas. So that's an ideal cue to resow the gutters. Before the rain comes, I thought I'd just show you the cherry tree here. Look at the loads and loads of fruit on there. The problem is the wood pigeons are on here all the time, taking the cherries off. So what I might do is actually put a couple of mesh sleeves on, some netting, just wrap it around a few branches, and that'll at least save a few cherries for me. And as I say, I'm still not sure yet if I'm going to keep this or not. Some big black clouds are coming out, and I should say the rain's going to be here within the next 10 minutes. So rather than starting something new on one of the beds, I thought I'd quickly sow another couple of gutters of peas. This here is a spent potato compost from last year, reusing it. I like to wet the soil before I put the peas in, let that drain a bit, and then just scatter them on the top. You've seen it all before, and as usual there's a little video if you want to take a closer look in more detail. And this is the 2 gutters of peas done, variety Hurst green shaft. I've decided to put them out on the allotment to get them to germinate. The day temperatures are warm enough now. What I've done, I don't know if you can see that, there's like metal hoops. I've just put them in the ground, rested the gutters on the top, then put some line pins in the middle and just drape some netting over the top, and hopefully that will give the protection from the birds, and more importantly make it very difficult for the mice to get up. In order to try and salvage a few cherries off the tree, I've put a couple of sleeves on just wrapped some debris netting around 2 or 3 branches with a lot of cherry still on there, although they are disappearing very quickly. You can probably see some through there. So this is just debris netting, and I've just wrapped that round. So the pigeons are really ravenous when they come on there, them stripping them very, very quickly. But hopefully, say, we'll be able to get at least a bowl full. Hello, good morning. We did have a little bit of rain last night, so I decided to call it today. And this morning I've had a little bit of a lie-in, so I better start work. First of all, planting today, we're going to be looking at getting the celery in. These are my usual varieties. This one's called Blush, and this one's called Latham Self-Blanching. I'm going to be planting them where the peas are. First of all, there's 1 or 2 little surface weeds in there. I need to clear them up first. As I said earlier, both of these varieties, Latham Self-Blanching and also the Blush, they are self-blanching, so they will look after themselves, although I still like to plant them fairly close. These are about 15 centimetres apart, and they'll happily grow along and push the way, muscle themselves through, and so it does give a nice clear stem when you come to harvest them. If you watch the channel regularly, you know I'm very fortunate in that I more or less live on top of my allotment, and it's mornings like this, the sun's shining, the birds are out, that really can't put a price on that. It's priceless, and I do actually love this morning stuff like this. As I said before, I enjoy seed sowing, pricking out, but coming out on the allotment, totally peaceful. There's nothing like it. Right, I'm going to crack on, plant these 4 rows. I'll bring you back when I've finished. That's 48 plants in. All that's left to do is to give them a good drenching in, soak them in. There's 1 or 2 drop their heads in shame, but I've no doubt they'll soon pick up once the roots get settled in. Must keep celery moist at all times. I have barked on about it before, but I'm very fortunate that I have a reasonably easy supply of well-rotted cow manure, and by putting that into the soil, it does retain the moisture. Right, just finish it with another half a can on this end, and that's the celery done. This here is destined to be the brassica bed. Around about Christmas time, early January, I top dressed all of the beds with cow manure, and about a fortnight, 3 weeks later, I dug it in. It's gone in quite nicely, although with all the rain we've had recently, it's actually compacted the soil. Now brassicas like a nice, tight, compact soil. I'm just fluffing the top up, and the ideal tool is this WOLF soil tiller. Just run it over the top, takes any little annual surface weeds off, and mixes the topsoil just nice. It's nice and dark now, this is. So I don't think I'm going to be planting the brassicas this afternoon. We've got some rain coming in again this afternoon, so what I plan to do is just let this have a good soak in, hopefully. And there's another bed up the top which I grow my shallots. Again, that was top dress with rotted cow manure. I've dug that in, tamped it down, so hopefully the next job we can get onto is planting the shallots. And this is the shallot bed. I've run the tiller over the top and just tamped it down with a rake. I don't know if to put in a can of water after because it is quite dry, this is. But I think I'm just going to plant the shallots and then give it a good water after. Well, these are the shallots, and as you can see, they're more than ready to go out. A lot of them have actually split. 32 in total, so I'll probably do 4 rows of 8. Regarding the variety, I think them Red Sun, so that or Golden Gourmet, what I'll do, I'll have a look in my book and put it on the screen. Right, they're ready to go, and so they're going into the bed here. Let's get planting. My marker board's slightly too long for this bed, so what I've done is just put them little terracotta pots on the top, spaced them, and then I've pressed a little metal bar in the bottom for an indent. It just gives you a grid pattern then, makes planting so much easier. Well, I might as well face the embarrassment sooner rather than later. Ask me who can't count. I thought those trays we had there was 12 cell trays, it was actually 15. I've got some 4x3, which are very, very similar, a bit deeper. So rather than 32, we had 38. But not to worry, we managed to fit them all in. And to have more is better than not enough. Right, just going to give these a watering in, and that's them done. Lots of shallots all watered in, bedded in, and that's about it for me today. Tomorrow, weather permitting, I'm going to be out on that bed up there and we'll start putting the brassicas out. But until then, many thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.